good evening. Welcome back to my little gardening show. Tonight I wanted to take you along as we're going to make another batch of fire cider. About 4 weeks ago or so, I started the first batch, and this past weekend strained it and bottled it. Let me show you what the end result of that was. So the end result is I got two 16-ounce bottles full of fire cider. This is what it looks like with everything kind of mixed together, the sediment, the mother, and all the other ingredients like the smaller particles all mixed up. So before I take, it's a little shot glass full, before I take a couple of tablespoons of that, I will shake this up really well so that I'm getting everything there is to offer in that. But this is what it looks like when everything settles. Again, you can see a little bit of sediment there at the bottom. It's all healthy, all good. This stuff definitely has a little bit of a kick. But it's supposed to be a cold and flu remedy / preventative. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. Essentially, we're infusing the apple cider vinegar with all the good stuff that's in, like garlic, ginger, horseradish, lemon, onion, hot peppers, rosemary. Those are the main ingredients. This batch I'm going to add turmeric, I think that's how you pronounce it, and maybe a Carolina Reaper. We'll see. Let me show you what we're up to. So I've got all my ingredients laid out, and we might not need both lemons. I'm making a little bit bigger batch. We're going to try to fill this jar up, so I've actually got a 32 ounce and then a smaller 16 ounce behind it, so we can take advantage of what we can make in here. We can make about a half gallon. So the idea is we will process all this, like basically peel the roots here, the ginger, the turmeric, the horseradish, and then we'll throw that in the food processor to kind of chop it up. I'll smash the cloves of garlic real good, but probably won't chop it up that much. Chop up the jalapenos and the onions. Anyway, we'll put all the ingredients in this jar, and then we'll add the apple cider vinegar to it, and then basically that's going to steep for 3 to 4 weeks. We'll strain it, and then we'll bottle it just like we did there, and I should have plenty to last me for the rest of the cold and flu season, probably into the late spring. That's assuming I'm taking, it's just me taking an ounce or so each day. You can actually take this stuff, I think up to 4 to 6 times a day, especially if you're feeling run down. Again, it's got a lot of nutrients in it, a lot of immune boosting nutrients. The idea is it's supposed to strengthen your immune system and help, fight off cold and flu. I typically will get some kind of respiratory infection or, cold or something at some point in the winter. Sometimes I kind of think if it's related, I'm wondering if it's related to messing with all those leaves out at the garden, and getting something in my lungs that way, or if it's just part of it or a deficiency in my diet. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to see if this makes any difference whatsoever this year. But let's get started in processing the vegetables here. All right, we'll start with this horseradish. You can smell it. I'll put the recipe to this fire cider in the description of the video and all that once we get this situated a bit. I'm going to peel this real good and chop it up, and I'll put it in the food processor. To cut it up. Alright, so we got it chopped up. We'll Get our food processor going. That's pretty good. All right, next we'll go with our ginger. I'm going to chop this up a little bit. Make it a little easier to peel. It's got a good smell. I like ginger. Alright, so that's a little bit of a pain to peel, but we got a fair amount there. We'll go ahead and run that through the food processor. That looks good. As I'm processing the ingredients, I'm going ahead and just throwing them in a jar here in my canning funnel. Alright, next we got our turmeric. I'm going to go ahead and start peeling that. Alright, so I've got about a cup of the turmeric. I'll go ahead and process that. Looks good. I get the spatula out to let me get everything out of here. Alright, I got some red onion here. You can use really whatever onion you want. This is what I've got on hand, so this is what I'm going to use. Get this peeled up and processed. Now we've got it peeled, we're going to run it through our chopper. We'll add those to our mix. Might need to split this batch over 2 jars, given how much stuff I got here. Alright, next we've got our jalapeno. You can sub whatever peppers you want if you don't like it hot, but I'm doing jalapeno, and I may do a Trinidad scorpion in there just to give it a little kick. I'm just going to cut the tops off. Just cut these in half lengthwise. And then I'm going to put these on my chopper. There we go. Right, our next ingredient is some garlic. Break these apart. Once we get these broken apart, I'll Take my knife and crush these real quick. We've got at least one clove that's kind of like the elephant garlic from the grocery store, and then I've got some that I actually special ordered. It's a hard neck garlic. That's pretty good. Basically, I'm just going to take my knife, push down on the edge, and that pops it free. Should pop it free from the skin. I've got it mashed out of its skin. I'm going to go ahead and chop it up just a little bit. Not real fine. That's pretty good. Alright, so we get the garlic in the jar now. We're going to get some lemon zest. I'm basically going to zest a whole lemon. Maybe two. We'll see how much we got there. Just going to go through and we're going to do that until we've gotten zest off the whole thing. We'll take that and the juice here and put it in a jar. Alright, so I went ahead and zested both lemons and squeezed the juice out. Next step is decide whether or not we want to spice it up. We need to add our rosemary. I'm essentially kind of doubling the batch as far as what's in here. So we'll see what I can get apple cider vinegar wise in here. And again, I've got the good stuff that's got the mother in it. It's unpasteurized. And again, the goal is to steep this stuff to get the nutrients out of it into the apple cider vinegar solution. So let's go ahead and add our rosemary. There's our angry little pepper. Carolina Reaper. I think we might add a sliver into that batch. Actually, on second thought, I think what I'm going to do is just put a tablespoon of my, they're milder peppers. There's 3 different hot peppers in here, but it's not near the heat of the Trinidad or the Carolina Reaper. Since I'm probably not going to be the only one drinking this stuff. Right, so that's all the ingredients, and that jar is pretty full. I'm guessing I've got enough in there for probably 2 batches. So what I may do is get another quart-sized jar real quick, dump all this stuff out, mix it up, and then try to have it, or put some of it into a quart-sized jar. Alright, change of plan. I had enough ingredients there I could do a double batch, so I just put it all in a bigger jar. This is a gallon-sized jar, and so contents are out. We'll go ahead and put some of this in here, just get the rest of this out, and we'll dump this in. We're going to fill this with apple cider vinegar next. Alright, that's looking better. Now that that's filled, we'll put the lid on, and what we'll do is agitate this about every day just to make sure that everything's getting worked around. This is essentially going to sit and steep for probably 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, and then we will strain it out and bottle it, and then I'll have more than enough fire cider for this season, enough to probably share with some friends. What I'm going to do is go ahead and put a piece of wax paper over this so that when I am sloshing this around, it doesn't touch the lid, like so, and we're good to go. We'll check back in periodically and give you an update on the progress of this, but not too difficult to make. There is a little bit of a investment in time and a little bit of money. I've probably got, if I had to guess, at least $30 invested in this batch with all the ingredients. The apple cider vinegars, you know, $4 or $5 a bottle. We got onions, garlic. I mean, you saw all the ingredients, so $25, $30 probably. But I should get probably 5 bottles out of this batch. So anywho, I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Bye. Well, hey everyone, I thought I'd put a little bonus footage on here. We're about 1 week out from making a little batch of fire cider. Since that time, I went ahead and ordered some jars to bottle it once it's ready. And I also got some, they're basically 1 gallon jars. They've got the airtight lid. The other jar that I had didn't have an airtight lid, so I mean, even though it was pretty secure, I couldn't mix it real well without a little bit of vinegar coming out. So anyway, I fixed that problem. So let's take a look. So there it is. I went ahead and put some wax paper here, but I've got 2 jars like this. They came as a basically a kombucha brewing kit with like a cheesecloth and a rubber band. So I may try to brew some kombucha as well. But anyway, this stuff's looking pretty good. We've got about 3 more weeks, and then we will strain it, bottle it up, and we'll be good to go. So I guess that's it for now. Until next time.